I can get this one going. Hello, everyone. It is Mommy Mondays. And here we go. And hopefully I can pin. There we go. Yay. Okay. All right. Hello, everyone. Super glad to have you. I'm working on it, y'all. So I'm on Instagram and I'm on Facebook. So I don't have a way just yet to have it sync up all in one place. As you know, I do this in my closet. It's not color coordinated or nothing fancy. It's just here, okay? So I'm gonna see if I can, because this side is really okay. Either way, hello everybody. Welcome to Mommy Mondays. I promised last time that I would do I promised that I would do the jingle that I wrote. So I promised that on Mommy Mondays that I would do my jingle. So let me get my drink. Hold on. What's in my cup ain't none of your business. You get your own cup, okay? All right. So my little jingle for Mommy Mondays. Here we go. Y'all can tell me if you like it or you don't like it. It won't matter. It won't matter if you don't like it. It's okay because it's mine. If you don't like my jingle, write your own jingle. And then if you submit it, maybe I'll sing your jingle. And then I'll say, okay, Mommy Mondays brought to you by so-and-so who has written a jingle. Okay? So, Mommy Mondays. Go grab yourself a little snack. Come on back so we can have a chat. Now, Mommy Mondays. There we go. Okay, I'm gonna fix it up a little bit, but that's what I got so far. So if you want to add to that, it's fine. All right, so hello. I am I don't know if I can say I'm excited to do Mommy Mondays. I can't say that I'm necessarily excited about it, but what I will say is that mommies have been in the news this week. So I wanted to make sure I did this Mommy Mondays because mommies and parents of kiddos have been having a rough time. Do you hear me? A rough time. So I'm going to start kind of rough, and then I will, I guess, soften it up. So the first thing that I wanted to talk about, hey Gabs, hey Amanda, I can see who's coming on now. I'm trying to pay a little more attention, okay? And my glasses are glaring a little bit, but y'all, if I take them off, I'm no good because I won't be able to read these comments. I'll be all in the camera, okay, like this, looking like an old lady, okay? So I'm going to keep these specs on, and if they glaring too much, somebody let me know, okay? So listen. Hello, hey you guys, thank you for tuning in. So it's Mommy Mondays, and we are going to jump right into the tough stuff, and then I'll kind of taper off at the end. So in the news, I'm a part of a wonderful parent group called Transparency. If you're not a part of that, please go ahead and find them on Facebook. Transparency. It's a parent group, and the owner of the group, he posted a story about a mom that stabbed her 5-year-old child to death. And I know that some people may be a little bit overwhelmed by that, hearing a mom stabbing her daughter. And of course, we live in an age where everybody has their own opinions, right, of what happened and why it shouldn't have happened and this, that, and the other. But what it takes me back to is what I did the first Mommy Monday on, which is self-care. Right now, parents, whomever's caring for the child, I know it's called Mommy Mondays. It's just called Mommy Mondays because I'm a mommy. But really, these Mondays are for the person that spends the most time with the child, the person that's caring the most for the children. Okay, so the thing is, you know, if you are not taking care of yourself and your mental, then when you're dealing with your children, you are pouring onto your children what you are experiencing. So, hey, Keisha. So what it is that when you hear a story like that on the news where a mother has stabbed her 5-year-old daughter to death, you know, I read through the article and I watched the video there, like, this isn't normal. You know, when she's walking the little girls in the neighborhood, she's laughing and playing, having a good time. You know, the mother, you know, seemed to be well. They had just moved into the neighborhood. So people were saying, you know, it didn't appear as though anything was wrong. Now, if there's additional information that has come out, I don't know anything about that. I'm just going based off the article that I read from a credible source. Okay. I have my bachelor's degree is in television broadcasting and journalism. I know not to use a source that's not credible. Okay. So, you know, I think that one of the aspects of, oh, Howard, welcome, sir. I look forward to your comments. One of the things that people neglect when you hear a story about a mother that stabbed her 5-year-old daughter to death. One, I'm glad that someone automatically went to, well, what was her mental state? What was going on with her? Because parents in this season have not really been able to practice a lot of self-care. I have 3 children of my own. The other day, I wanted to quit my job. I'm a full-time mom, okay? I'm looking at between two. I'm on Facebook and Instagram, so that's why I'm looking both ways. But the other day, I wanted to quit my job. I'm a full-time mom, okay? My daughter was crying. She was frustrated, overwhelmed. My son was crying about something. He was, you know, frustrated or whatever. And my 1-year-old always hollering, because that's what he do, okay? I was ready to quit. Walk off my job, okay? Ready to walk off my job, okay? Ready to leave my job. My job is a full-time mom, and I was ready to quit. I wanted to say, I'm out. You know what I'm saying? But as a full-time mother, I don't get lunch breaks. I don't get 15-minute breaks. Those of you who smoke, I ain't getting no smoke break. You know, whatever it is that you do when you're at work, I don't get a break. And we have to remember that people caring for children need a break. I know I talked about this the last time on Miami Mondays, but I'm probably going to talk about it every time. Because we need a break. Parents in this particular pandemic. Okay, a parent with 1 child, they are struggling too. Don't think, oh, they just got 1 child. They ain't got, no. A parent in general, a person who has children or a person who has a child and has to care for someone other than themselves, they're concerned in this season. What if they have lost their job? What if they're trying to figure out how to care for them? The stress, the anxiety, the depression, even maybe in some cases, that's overwhelming them and consuming them. And now you talking about on top of that, that child is screaming, crying, frustrated, overwhelmed, and so is the parent. And now you have this funnel of emotions, literally like a pot of emotions, and it's just boiling. And that tea kettle is getting ready to whistle. So now when the tea kettle whistles and blows with all these emotions, what happens? What happens? Unfortunately, we have those types of situations. I don't know the full story of what happened to the woman who stabbed her 5-year-old child 5 times. I don't know what happened. But what I am saying is it's important to evaluate the mental state, the stressors of the situation. Because if we don't evaluate those stressors, we're doing the person that the mom that committed the crime an injustice. The daughter, the little girl that was killed, I am heartbroken that the mom was at such a breaking point. I don't know what happened. Again, I don't know what happened, but I'm heartbroken that it reached a point where that's where everything came out, and that's what happened. I know a lot of parents feel the same way, and it helps them to hear somebody say it. It's human. Nobody was ready for it. Nobody. You right, Howard. Nobody was ready to be in a pandemic. Nobody was ready to lose their job. Nobody was ready to try to figure out how to feed their family. Now a lot of people was already living check to check. A lot of people was already struggling. A lot of people already only had one stream of income. Okay, and that was cut off at the knee. Okay. On top of that, a lot of these families, depending upon the neighborhoods, all I know how to talk about is black and brown folk, because that's what I am. A lot of the neighborhoods where the black and brown children live, a lot of those children, the parents counted on breakfast and lunch at the school, because all they can afford to pay for is dinner. So now you talk about, on top of the stress of dealing with the emotions of the child. And let's not even talk about children that have special needs. Parents who are at home with those children. That's a whole nother conversation. Okay. But now you're talking about a parent who's dealing with the needs of the child, mentally, emotionally, financially, physically. You're dealing with the needs of the child in all areas. And now this parent is overwhelmed. But now we still in the black and brown community that I discussed, right, where there are so many disparities. Some of them don't have internet and Wi-Fi and, was counting on that breakfast and lunch at the school and figuring out all they had to worry about was dinner. But now they figuring out how to feed their child 3 times a day with snacks in between. So now you're talking about a parent who is really struggling. And we in a black and brown neighborhood, again, I'm going to keep addressing it, where, therapy or talking to somebody because you got all these feelings and emotions that you don't know what to do with. Talking to somebody, no, we don't do that. Talk to the Lord. Even if that's even what they believe in. Okay. Talk to your higher power or whatever. No, go to a therapist. Get yourself together so you can get your children to, so you can stop the domino effect of this, of these mental and emotional, issues that are carrying within yourself. Open-minded discussion about parents' mental health. When we make the root cause too taboo to discuss, we set ourselves up for another tragedy. Yes, Howard. Yes, we do. It's a setup. And it's a domino effect. I mean, how many of you guys, it's therapeutic for me when I go to YouTube and I watch the little videos and when people hit the dominoes and it just, you follow it. It's therapeutic for me. I can just see what's going to happen. So I love to watch it and see how it's going to fold and what it's going to look like. But in reality, that same domino effect was created with this pandemic. It's Mommy Mondays. I know I'm supposed to only be talking about mommies, but I'm talking about parents in the home with the children. Mom, dad, uncle, cousin, auntie, whoever is caring for the kids now has on, has this added weight to their life. And people are like, well, you had kids or you took on a responsibility or you're the guardian or whatever. You shouldn't complain. No, they didn't plan a pandemic. They didn't plan to have children trapped in their house. Some of these kids don't live in a house. I live in an apartment. I don't live in a house. Thankfully, we live in an apartment and we have space for the kids to run and play. And we have a grass area for the kids to run and play. But what about people who don't have that? What about people who've been trapped in a pandemic this entire time? The kids in the house and initially, and didn't have anywhere to go. Couldn't go outside and run and play. Because black and brown kids don't always live in a house. I mean, if you want to talk about the housing market and the disparities of the African American community, okay, and the issues that they face with even purchasing a home, the value of the homes in those neighborhoods. Again, domino effects. It's just bringing things to light. I mean, this has been an issue a long time before the pandemic as far as the housing and the gentrification and everything that's going on. That was before the pandemic. Okay. Let me put my shoulders down. I'm going Patty. Patty, say my name. Okay. I was going Patty. Sorry. My bad. Let me put my shoulders down. I don't want to fly away. Put my shoulders down. Hey, babe. Y'all, my husband watching. Okay. Okay. And Howard, what you say? And then the places they could go to give the parents a break were closed. Yes. So you're talking about in the middle of a pandemic, parents struggling, may or may not have lost their job. The school was giving the children breakfast and lunch. The schools were providing breakfast and lunch. The schools providing breakfast and lunch. Some of the parents were only having to worry about dinner, but now they got to worry about breakfast, lunch, dinner, and snacks in between. Okay, now they're at home with the child. There's a mental and emotional stress that's overwhelming everybody. They only got one stream of income. That's iffy at this point because the pandemic going on. They don't know if they're gonna be able to go to work, not go to work. They don't know if they're gonna make money, not make money. They don't know how long they're gonna be. They don't know how long they're gonna be able to provide for their families. Okay, and now they all trapped in the house. Okay, and again, we talking about black and brown neighborhoods. That's all I know. I'm black and brown. I'm black. If you, in case you didn't see. Okay, so all I know to talk about is me and my family and what I know and what I've seen, how I grew up. Okay, so now you're talking about the overwhelming responsibility of a parent, guardian, whomever that's caring for the child, trying to figure out what they're gonna eat. Because kids like, mommy, can I have a snack? The guy, Major, golly, I can't think of his name right now. That's so terrible. But he's over the transparency group. He and his family have a YouTube channel. And they got a song called Snacks. Y'all go listen to it. I love it. Talk about all the snacks that you get tired of buying for your kids, because that's all kids want all day is a snack. Okay? But now these kids are in the house. They need a snack, mental, emotional. Everybody's in the house. They trapped, living in an apartment. You know, because we talked about the disparities of the housing market for black and brown families. What that looks like, the gentrification and everything that's going on in a lot of neighborhoods. So now we, again, that domino effect that I talked about. We're talking about food, deserts. Whoo, whole nother topic. Don't let me even get there. Food, deserts. Some of these people getting their groceries from a gas station. Okay? Groceries from a gas station. My husband grew up in Jackson, Mississippi. And when you talk about food deserts, my husband will bring to light food deserts and the disparities in some of these communities and how far people have to drive just to get groceries to feed their families. Okay? So we have a pandemic, people trapped in the house. I say trapped because that's how some parents and guardians felt, okay, and feel. Trapped. Okay? They're caring for the kids. They're trapped in the house. Kids want snacks all day. They got to figure out how to feed the kids. Also got to figure out how to money to be able to feed the kids if they have lost their job during this pandemic. You know, they only gave one stimulus check. Some people were receiving unemployment if possible, if it worked for them, if they met all the criteria. And if their job then cut it off when they figured out a way to say, oh, you can come back if you want to, but then the person couldn't come back because they had to take care of their kids because ain't no daycares open either. Y'all, you hear these domino effects? No place to play outside. The parks and stuff were closed. What were people doing? What were people supposed to do with their kids? What were their families supposed to do as a family? When kids don't have healthy food, it affects their mental health, and that's another domino. Yes. Kids are hungry. I'm hungry. I taught 10th grade literature. And when some of my kids would come to school hungry, guess what? I spent so much money when I was a teacher. Why? Because I had a snack drawer. I had a lunch drawer. Sometimes I would bring peanut butter and jelly sandwiches and stuff to school because some of them kids didn't have no food. And they was eating lunch. They would tear that lunch up and come back and still be hungry because that's the only meal they getting. When they go home, they ain't getting nothing. I used to have a snack area and I would send kids home with snacks. Got my eyes warming up. I'm sorry. Hold up. Okay. Because when I think about my students that I had, I kept things in my classroom. Deodorant, towels, washcloths, extra clothes. I had homeless kids in my class. Okay? I would never tell them, I would slip them $10 and $20 here. Okay? And I wasn't making a whole bunch of money. Okay? But I had students who struggled. And when those kids needed something, I would break my neck to get it. Because I had created a level of trust with those students. I had created a level of trust with those kids. And I didn't want them to leave my presence feeling uncared for. I had such a love for my students and such a care for my students that I wanted them to be able to thrive and understand that where they are was not who they were. Okay? and provide a means or tools or resources. They would always, and I would have my husband come and talk to the students in the class. They're like, Miss Walker, how y'all know? How did you do this? How did you do that? Or how did you they had questions because I was willing to be open and share. Maybe people have to choose between going to get money and possibly bringing COVID into the house is one of the cruelest treatments of parents I've ever seen. Yes. So the biggest issue a lot of parents are having right now is with the whole schooling situation. Don't get me wrong. Everybody has their thing, right? But I know for a fact that certain counties have more than 50% of the families that chose to do virtual learning because they're still concerned about COVID-19. Okay. So those families, some of them had to choose. Some of them don't have that option. Like he mentioned in his comments, some of these parents had to choose to let their children go to school, even though they didn't want to, even though deep down in their heart, they wish they could keep their child at home. Some of these parents had to send their child to school. Why? Because they have to provide. They have to provide. So they have to they don't have a choice. A single mom, single dad, single aunt, grandma, auntie, whomever is caring for the child. And all they have is whatever job they got. And they need to be able to send that child to school so that they can go to work. Is that fair? Is that right? I don't know. I just don't know. I did a story, Channel 2. They asked me some questions and I put up a post explaining that they didn't pull the full context of my conversation the way that I really wanted them to. But what I explained when we had when I had my interview with WSB TV is that, it shouldn't be that parents have to make that decision. Parents shouldn't have to choose between the health of their child and providing for their child. They shouldn't. Again, I'm going to go back to the story. I don't know what happened with this mother that stabbed her daughter to death. I don't know what happened. I don't know how it happened. But what I'm saying is her mental and emotional state needs to be sought out. She may need some help. She may have felt trapped. She may have just been angry. Her tea kettle may have whistled. The water probably had been boiling. The tea kettle may have been whistling. And that whistling noise just may have gotten too loud. Another domino. Another domino. The domino effect of a pandemic. Like I said, many families in the Black and brown communities living check to check. I'm not saying they're not trying, but what I'm saying is there's so many disparities. I keep using that word. There's so many different issues within the Black and brown community that keep people from doing well. Now, I'm not saying people can't do well. I'm not saying that. I know plenty of Black millionaires, billionaires. Okay. Plenty of Black families doing well, thriving. And there's nothing wrong with that. I love to see it. And I love to support the businesses that they have. Black owned business made my shirt. This is my logo on a shirt. Black owned business did this for me. CR Designs. Love her. Love her work. Okay. So I love Black business. I love to see us thriving and doing well and manifesting things. But at the same time, we have to address the issues that are in the community and figure out ways to solve them. Everybody talking about them, but ain't nobody problem solving. And I'm not sitting here saying that I have all the answers. I do have a few solutions, but they might not be the ones that they wanted the community, the state might approve of. But holler at me, some politicians or somebody, you listening, you get this video. I got some solutions for you. I got some ways that some stuff can work, that things can get better. Because it's been 400 years. And we still having some of the same problems. Okay? But it says, People would have called her a bad parent for walking away, which could have saved her daughter's life. The pressure we put on parents to be perfect is a big factor in why the kettle whistles. Woo. Why do I keep thinking blow the whistle? Do, 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 do. Okay, that's the HBCU in me, my bad. Alabama State University. Okay, but listen, I think that what he said is so important. People, I'm going to use that word. People place this pressure on parents to be perfect. People place this pressure on parents to be perfect. I don't know if I can say it 3 times fast, but it's real. Okay? There's this pressure to be the perfect parent. Somebody tell me, if you know, and you can type that in there, tell me what's the definition of a perfect parent. Tell me. Because listen, let me tell you something. The first Mommy Monday almost didn't happen. I told y'all that because I was overwhelmed with my kids. I didn't even see the jingle or nothing because I was just like, y'all, I'm just here because I'm supposed to be. But that it almost didn't happen. And I can't say that even today, overwhelmed with my kids, frustrated, things going on. Speechless. Parents have to stop feeling the need to be perfect. Love and care for your children the way they need to be cared for. Do what works for your kids. Don't do what's working for everybody else. Don't do what's working for everybody else. That's unfair to your child. Oh, they threw their kid a $2,000 and $3,000 birthday party, and I feel the need. Why you placing that pressure on yourself and your finances? You don't, and especially if you don't have the money to do what you see other people doing. Let me tell y'all something. I'm gonna give you a little insight here. Okay, like I used to put on your listening ears, listening ears. Let me tell you something. I was that parent. I grew up a certain way. I'm not going to talk about it right now. This is not my time to tell my story, okay? But I grew up a certain way, and it sure wasn't pretty. Wasn't pretty at all, okay? But this is the thing. I said my whole life, I did not want to have children. I said I didn't even want to get married, okay? But God had other plans. So my life is in this where it is now. And so once I had children, I said, I don't want my children to have nothing. No parts of the life I had growing up. I don't want them to experience any of that. So I worked hard. But in the process of working hard to keep them from experiencing that, I was placing a lot of pressure on myself. Because it was like, I don't want to curse at my kids, right? So I have all this pressure built up inside me. When I really want to curse or really want to drop an F-bomb or something, I'm holding all of that in. And I'm like, okay, no problem, baby girl. And it's a lot of work to not say what you really want to say. That's a lot of work. It takes a lot of energy to not say what you really would like to say. So what you have to do is learn how to use that energy and the things that you're saying in another way, or get it out in a different way if you don't want that to come out on your kids. Okay? So it's going to be important to be able to understand how to deal with yourself in order to make yourself better for your kids. You don't have to be perfect. You just got to be you and allow whatever it is that your morals and values and foundational system, allow that to work for your family and for your kids. Because I'm telling you now, I am nowhere near perfect. Okay? And I hope don't nobody think I am. I done made mistakes. I done made some people mad. I'm gonna look into both these cameras right now. I'm gonna look dead in the camera. Okay? If I have ever done anything to offend you, yes, you watching, anybody watching, if I ever done anything to offend you, I'm so sorry. I really am. I promise you, I don't recall ever doing anything intentionally to hurt somebody. Intentionally. And if you watching this and you still hurt from something that I did, I pray that God brings you healing, or you're able to heal from it. Because I don't even know I hurt you at this point, because I don't know. But see, the thing is, I'm not holding on to that. I have to move on from that to be able to care for my kids. Why? Because if I hold on to everything from the past, trying to deal with my kids, that's too much weight, too much pressure. Especially when the people around you are pressuring you to be a parent the way they parenting. And you definitely don't have to do that. You definitely don't have to do that. So listen, I want you to choose to make, time for yourself, because your mental and emotional is important. Another domino, I imagine. Parents often feel cut off socially from other adults, and that gets magnified in a quarantine. Now, Howard, you done said something right there, sir. The number one thing I always tell people I miss as a parent is adult conversation. I talk to my kids all day, and sometimes don't even know what's going on in the news. Somebody will message me and be like, girl, when people pass and things like that, somebody has to text me, or I might see it on social media. I'm not seeing anything on the news or anything like that. All I'm watching is Baby Shark and PBS Kids and Disney Junior. So I don't really know what's going on. And I told my husband the other day, we got a chance to go on a date. And my sister, God bless her, she gives us once a month, if she can, she watches the kids so we can have a date night. Praise the Lord. Hallelujah. Okay. Yes, I feel that way down in my shundo. Yes, I thank you for my sister, Lord, because I sure be needing them date nights. Okay. So this is the thing. If my sister weren't watching the kids, we wouldn't get that break. That would be terrible. But I told my husband the other day, my sister came and watched the kids. We went on our little date. And I told him, I was like, babe, I'm just excited to stand outside and have adult conversation. Because we had, my brother was here. And we were just standing outside talking, laughing and talking, kikiing. And I just loved it. Because I'm always talking to my kids. I'm always around my kids. I'm always doing kiddie things, activities, crafts, keeping them busy, maintaining, And so just to have adult conversation is important. And then I'm going to tell you another thing for parents. And I tell my husband this all the time, like, once he gets off work. Sometimes as a parent or the person who's caring for the child, all you need is somebody else to be in the room. You just want somebody to be in the room. Many parents are with the kids all day, and it's just the presence of another adult that will ease their mind. Sometimes you just want to know it's somebody else in the room with you, and so you don't feel alone. So many parents struggle silently because they feel like, oh, everybody else parenting, everybody else is parenting, they perfect, they good. No, everybody's struggling being a parent. Everybody. Okay? Even people who have the financial means to do whatever it is that they want to do with their kids. That's great. But kids will be kids. They're learning. You have to tell them the same things over and over again. You have to repeat yourself over and over again. Okay? Just imagine you're an adult. How many times have you done the same thing over and over again? And you're like, oh, I ain't doing that no more. But you go back and you do it. And you're an adult. So just imagine for children who are trying their best to learn and grow and thrive in this world. Just imagine how a child feels. They're like, oh, wait, I wasn't supposed to do that. Oh, wait. And now you're trying to associate, oh, I'm going to pop them. Or I'm going to give them a whooping. Because when they do this, they're going to remember that whooping. Okay. You drank, you got drunk, you fell on your face. Do you remember that every time, or do you still drink? I'm just saying. Stop these. You have to manage your expectations. Okay? Manage your expectations of these kids. And maybe, just maybe, it'll help you begin to deal with them. Because Listen, you have to manage your expectations all around. Manage your expectation of your kids. Manage your expectations of yourself. You have to learn how to manage your expectations. Stop expecting more from people than what they can give. And that includes your kids. I have to remember that all the time with my daughter. She's 6, but she's just so advanced. Sometimes I have to remember, oh, she's just 6. Hold on, y'all. Again, don't ask me what's in my cup. What's in your cup? You should have a drink. Your kids should be in the bed. Okay? I don't care if it's water. Put it in your favorite cup and sip on it like it is something. But listen, you have to learn how to not only care for yourself, care for your kids, but you got to learn how to take the time to really evaluate where you are and understand that I'm sorry, y'all. Understand that you are not alone. You're not by yourself in being frustrated or overwhelmed with your kids. You're not. You're not alone. Everybody kids get on their nerves at some point. The last job training I facilitated was a week long for 6 hours every day. And even after that, we knew some of the people were going to be struggling. I can only imagine teaching kids from scratch. Listen. You give adults instructions and they still don't follow them. You know, because, they always say people don't read. You can tell people, I can tell a million people, hey, y'all, I'm going live tonight at 9 o'clock. Going live tonight at 9 o'clock. Somebody will still message me and say, what time you going live? Or it's on Facebook or Instagram. I'm like, it's on the flyer. But they're still going to ask. Okay? And these are adults. So you got to think about that. So I feel like so many parents think that they are alone. So many parents think that, oh, my child is the only child giving me problems. My child is the only child trying to eat all the snacks. My, only parent feeling bad because they can't financially do everything that they want to do for their kids. You're not the only one. My husband, let me tell you something. I am super grateful for my husband. He's a provider for our family. I was working prior to the pandemic, right? But we had to make a decision on what worked best for our family. And what worked best for our family was for me to be home. So we had to manage our budget for me being home. That means it's some stuff we don't do. Okay? It's some stuff we don't do. Because me being home with our kids is what works best for our family. It's what works best for our family. And so you have to learn how to do what works best for your family. Again, I started this live off talking about the mother that stabbed her daughter 5 times. I believe it was 5 times. I know the little girl was 5 years old. Little girl. But the mother's mental state, the mental state of parents in a pandemic, I'm not saying it justifies her actions. By no means am I saying that. What I am saying is that it's important for her to get some help. It's important for her to get some help. Because let me tell you something. She gonna be sitting there thinking about what she did. Because from my understanding, the reading of the article, everybody was like, oh, they just moved in the neighborhood. Everything seemed well. Everything. And, automatically they like, oh, she murdered her daughter, put her under the jail. Okay, that's fine. I understand what you're saying. She needs some help. She needs some help. And I would be saying the same thing if she wasn't black. It was a black female. I would be saying the same thing if she wasn't black. Why? I don't care what color her skin was. Need help. Mentally and emotionally needs help. Okay? Caring for children in a pandemic is not easy. Caring for children when it ain't a pandemic is not easy. Yes, by helping her, the treatment community can learn more about how parents get to that point so they can help prevent another tragedy. Yes, because I'm telling you right now, it's plenty of parents on the edge. And they're not saying a word. They just walk around like, oh my God. I need to take a break. Me, I'm quick. Tell my husband, I'm going for a walk. Some parents don't have that ability to be able to take a walk. Some parents don't get the opportunity to be able to walk away. If they're a single parent, depending upon the age of the children, they don't get to just walk out the house and say, you know what, I'll be back. I'm walking out. They may not get that opportunity. So it's important for people to understand that, even when a single parent, if you know somebody that is a single parent, be kind. Be kind to them. Share with them in ways, show them some extra love. Because I have my husband. My husband is amazing with our children. But he works a lot. So, I know some married people who will say, oh, I feel like a single parent. That's a feeling, but you're not. Because you have some help sometimes at some point. So you might say, oh, I feel like a single parent. That's a phrase I hear. And I've even used that myself before. It's a phrase that people say, I feel like a single parent, because they feel like they don't have any help. Now, your help ain't that little. Okay? Let me tell you something. Those single parents, show them some kindness. Okay? It's a pandemic and stuff going on right now. I know you might not have a way to get a break or help them get a break. They may not want you in their home and stuff. But however, reach out to them. Hey, man, is there anything I can do? You need something? You good over there? You know what I'm saying? Hey, I'm going to send some pieces to y'all house tonight. I got dinner on me. Okay? Simple things. A toy or activity that won't mess up nothing, that won't get things dirty, won't destroy nothing, but will keep the kids busy. A coloring book, some pencils, a coloring crayon, something. Like, hey, I just want, I brought a little activity, something that'll keep the kids busy for a few minutes to give them a break. It's simple. They just need a break. And I know I talked about this last time, right? On the last Monday. But if I'm talking about it again, don't you think it's important? I might talk about this every time, because all the conversations going to lead to how is the parent feeling. I have this phrase. Doers do what checkers check. And a lot of people always ask me, well, Ebony, what does that mean? Doers do what checkers check. Well, doers are only doing what checkers are checking. Okay? So, if you expect somebody to be doing something, you need to check and see if they are doing it. If you are a friend to a single parent, you need to be checking on them. Hey, you had a break. You told me you was gonna take an hour for yourself today. Did you do that? Did you take an hour for yourself today? Cause if you ain't checking, they probably ain't doing it. Cause they ain't holding themselves accountable. They in go mode at all times, trying to care for their kids. Check on your friends. Check on your family. If somebody got kids, check on them. And when they tell you, oh, I'm good, girl. Let me go. I gotta tend to these kids. Hold on. Hey, you need something? Girl, no, hold on. I know you busy with the kids and stuff. I know you got a lot going on, but do you need something, like for real? Like for real? Are you good? Because if the checker was checking what that mama was doing, baby girl might still be here. And I'm not placing the responsibility on nobody else. I'm not. I'm not replacing the blame on anybody else for her taking her daughter's life. But what I'm saying is, sometimes all it takes is a phone call or something, you know. Or when I remember there was a story about a mother who was in the car with her children, and she drove her car to the beach, drove the car into the water, and got out. Her kids were strapped in the car, buckled in, because they were small kids. She drove the car into the water and got out of the car and was just walking down the beach. Y'all, people losing their mind. And obviously it's not just parents. It's not just people who are caring for their kids. People in the world in general are losing their minds. There's a lot of things you have to be mindful of. Spirits, demonic spirits, people you surround yourself with, people that you connect with, the things that you do, the stuff you try to tap into when you think you woke, and all of that stuff is real. So you have to be careful when you start tapping into stuff you don't know nothing about. Because see, if you start tapping into stuff and your spirit is not strong enough, and you're not mentally capable to handle the things that you're tapping into, you gonna get yourself in trouble. So you trying to get yourself all interested and into, sage and the spirits and the gods and goddesses. It's nothing wrong with it. I love the knowledge, and I'm very aware. I am, I read a lot. I'm very intuitive. I know a lot about a lot of things. Okay. But you have to have your spirit together before you decide you want to be extra woke and start tapping into stuff you don't know nothing about. Cause let me tell you something. You start tapping into spirits and stuff and doing some things that you don't know nothing about before doing your research and gathering your own spirit and gathering yourself. That stuff will connect to the stuff that you hadn't tried to fix in yourself. And it'll start getting you together. Okay? And take you to a different place than what you expected. I know that's a left turn, but somebody probably need to hear that, because you're trying to tap into some stuff that you don't know nothing about. And you need to gather yourself. Get your spirit together. You have to be, it's like before you do a triathlon, you have to start working out, getting yourself together, going to the gym, walk, if you ain't never ran, you got to start walking first, walk on the treadmill. And it's the same thing with all these spiritual awakening and trying to be woke. Okay. You better crawl, walk, run. Because if you think you're going to go from knowing nothing to being a witch, somebody got something for you. Because you're going to tap into the wrong spirit and they're going to gather you. Okay? So, I love it. I have friends that do a lot of different things. And I am not stuck inside. I am very open-minded. I have my own beliefs and I have my own morals and I have my own values. But at the same time, I'm knowledgeable. I'm aware. I'm a researcher. I gather information for myself. Gather myself, get myself together, and then say, okay, all right, is my spirit ready to tackle something else? Am I in a place where I can, soak in this additional information? Because that's the reason some of y'all are struggling. Because you're trying to tap into the awakeness or being awoke, and you done invited some spirits into your mind, body, and soul that you don't know nothing about, and it's attacking everything in your life. Mentally, physically, emotionally, financially, and spiritually. Don't realize you opened yourself up to some spirits walking around touching people, connecting with folks. They broke, now you broke. Because you surrounding yourself with people who broke. Not just financially. I'm talking about broke. Spirit broke. Stuff about them broke. And now you trying to figure out why you depressed. Check your circle. Check what you doing. Oh, I don't know who that was for, because I didn't mean to go there. But it's real. It's the truth. Okay? Some of y'all can't handle what you're trying to get into. Okay. I'm going to stop right there. I'm just saying. You don't know what you're tapping into. Tapping on the mic. And it don't need to be plugged in. Okay? But, all right. So, that's it for tonight. Okay? Mommy Monday. On that note, I gotta roll out. Let's just say spirits have attached themselves to them And they don't even know enough spiritual sense to not only recognize it, but also cast it out. Now, see, that's a whole nother level right there. Casting. Some people don't know. They don't even know the definition of what it means to cast. But if you get something in you that you don't even know how to get out. Y'all getting stuff in you that you don't even know how to get out, but you want to be woke when you sleep. Anyway, so just to do a quick little recap. Okay, we're going to do a recap. If you are a parent or if you are caring for children, do some self-care. Even if you are a parent, check on other people that are parents. Check on some people. Doers do what checkers check. If your friends say they caring for themselves, they doing some self-care, they check to see if they actually doing it. They need you got to help them. Okay? Buy some dinner, send some crayons, coloring book, something. Especially if they are a single parent, single guardian, whatever, however it's happening. And then on the latter end of the conversation, if you think you woke and you tapping into spirits and you don't know what you're doing, gather yourself first before you get stuff in you that you don't know how to get out. Let me tell you something. It's an old prayer that my grandmother and her mother, I'm sure, probably prayed about the importance of keeping their mind. You can lose your mind like this. All it takes is you can lose your mind. Tap into the wrong thing and they ain't got that spirit together. Get trapped in there and them people, and they start having conversations in your mind. I'm just saying. All right. Well, I'll be back next Monday. You know, whatever I talk about depends on what happened during the week. So let's hope for a good week. Let's hope for, I pray that whatever it is that you desire to happen for you, that it's manifesting and that you're doing things that allow it to manifest, getting out of your own way. If you're supposed to be writing the book, write the book. If you're supposed to be finishing the project, finish the project. Set some deadlines for yourself. Be done with some stuff. Some stuff you just need to be done with. Some stuff just need to be done and over. Okay? It's time for you to move on. Okay? So, I love y'all. And I appreciate you. You don't have to come over here and watch me. So, I appreciate you tuning in. Okay? And if you have topics or things that you want me to talk about, you can always DM me and just let me know it's for Mommy Mondays. Or you can go to my website, ebonywalker.com. And just send me, go to my contact me portion and put Mommy Monday in the subject area. And it'll send me an email with information. Please, please, please go to my YouTube channel and subscribe. I'm going to actually start downloading the Mommy Mondays and putting them on YouTube so that people can watch them later on. I think some of the information is really good. And sometimes I don't remember what I talk about. So, because it's just in the moment. So. But I appreciate y'all for tuning in and listening to me. I don't know. Sometimes it's rambling. Sometimes it's not. So, but I appreciate you guys. I love you. This is Mommy Mondays. That's my little jingle, y'all. You got something better, send it to me. And I might sing it. Just tell me how it go. All right. Bye, y'all. I appreciate y'all.